Look, tap in, nigga, log in. Smoke a lot radio, we going all in.
Tap in, bitch, log in. Smoke a lot radio, we going all in.
Tap in, hold log in. Smoke a lot radio, we going all in.
The squad making sure we all win. Smoke a lot radio, we going all in. Zilla, I'm the host with the most smoke. Rolling up the most dope. Kato got the most jokes. Simone Taylor keep it sexy for the grown folks. I'm OG, tone low, bouncing on them gold spokes. Smoke, we the #1 podcast. Some other shows, all trash, Amber Rose, all ass. Smoke, broadcasting live from the coast. Sick committee with the jokes. Come and get your ass roast.
Kato for you nigga, review my file. How they show up on the net. You other niggas is clowns. Pulling buster niggas, cars pulling whole skirts up. I'm the king of one-liners, y'all got what the fuck? Since we stepped up on the scene, we got the haters' attention. Only bosses on the set, you other niggas is mentioned. For your back for interviews, nigga, boss up your views. Nigga, fuck your crew, nigga, who is you?
Coming through with the block report. The real spill, cause niggas know I got report. About to give you what you're waiting for. Simone, Kato, and Young, we about to take the floor. And we back like we never left. Other radio shows, they getting put up on the show. Every time we step out, you know we fresh to death. Here to take our reign till there ain't nothing left.
You bitch! Hey, who is these niggas y'all talking about? They gon' get on Smoke a Lot with they 400 followers, 17 motherfucking view having ass. Fuck, these niggas crazy than a motherfucker. These niggas crazy than a motherfucker. Fuck. Hey, Simone, what she got with her? Oh my mama.
Hey, tap in, nigga, log in. Smoke a lot radio, we going all in. Hey, it's your host with the most Culado smoke, yuck motherfucking mouth with the illest nigga in the basket, B.
Catofonia, oh my mama.
My partner in motherfucking grind, man.
Cause on fly, yes sir.
Yeah, man, and we got a super duper special guest tonight, man. People been asked for this interview a long motherfucking time.
Man.
Just the history that, you know what I mean? We got, this is like everybody like to give the title King of the South to people and all that shit. I don't give it to nobody but this man that we talking about and that we gonna talk to today. Not only that, I give him the Godfather South. You know what I mean? I give him the motherfucking the big homie of the South, basically.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And the pinnacle of fucking down South independent rap. You know what I mean? Period. And none other than the legendary Jay Prince is in the building, man. Smoke a Lot Radio, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being in this motherfucker, OG. You feel me?
Oh, yeah. How y'all doing, homie?
All right. Yeah, everybody cool. These niggas scared, bro. They don't want to talk.
I want to take Jay Prince.
Ain't nothing but love in there.
Ain't nothing but love in there. The first time I ever seen you was in Las Vegas, and you was walking with a briefcase with a handcuff.
Oh, shit.
A grown briefcase and one big ass nigga. He was about 7 foot, whatever.
That was Boxing Mike. Probably was Boxing Mike.
Yeah, that was one of the other homies. I remember who that is. Yeah.
And we sat there and watched you gamble, man. And you was one of the coolest. You was so cool to me and my brother. And you was like, and you went to that table and popped them up. Hey, I ain't never seen no shit like that, but on television.
Did I win or lose?
I think you was winning.
Yeah, I can dig.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yo,
man,
what's been up, homie? Long time no see.
Man, come on, man. I was supposed to go to that goddamn Andre Ward fight, man. I ended up being booked that weekend, but you gave me the invite though. I did with Teresa. You know what I mean? Another one of your family members from Royal Blunt, man. So yeah, she the one who put me on the phone with you. You know what I mean? And got us back together, man. So yeah, man, you a very busy dude, and I just been wanting to just call you and like get an invite to the ranch or invite to one of the goddamn islands or something. I'm like, come on, man, send me a bottle or something, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's glad that we tap back in, man. You know what I mean? Period. Long overdue, man. Long overdue.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm always a call away, man. I ain't gonna never ignore the real when they reach out. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. let's get to this interview, man. I just want to start off by asking you, you know what I mean? No, by saying congratulations on the book. You know what I mean? The Art and Science of Respect, man. I read that motherfucker every time I'm on the plane. I read it like 3 or 4 times. What made you want to write the book and give people your autobiography, you know what I mean, of how you grew up and how you became successful with other business ventures in life?
Yeah, you know, a combination of things took place that led me to want to document and speak about some of those things, man. And a lot of it had to do with the time, and a lot of it had to do with, you know, everywhere I travel, a lot of people want to know what, when, where, and how. You know what I mean? A lot of things was done, and you know, I couldn't think of a better way to reach all than to put it in a book.
Hey man, that book was devastating, dope as fuck. I noticed a lot of things in that book that you know, carried on from a youngster onto, you know, right now. The perfect story is when it was the brute dude, when you was growing up, it was the brute bully, you know what I mean? And you outsmarted him. And then next thing you know, this guy's working for you and he's on your team, you know what I mean? So do you still have that approach today? You know what I mean? How to outthink, you know what I mean, the brute people, and then, you know, calm the savage beast and, you know, y'all eat together. Is that still your practice?
Yeah, I mean, I think the brain is one of the most powerful muscles on the body. You know what I mean? Coming up as a kid, you know, I always been a little dude. I'm still a little dude, and you know, a lot of muscle bone niggas used to try to impose their will on me. They used to impose their will on me. So at a young age, you know, I had to figure out, you know, how to use my mind, because I always had a big heart in my chest. So I had to figure out how to use my brain, man, to prevent a lot of that bullying, you know, that used to take place in the hood. And as I figured those things out and cracked a few codes, you know, it became addictive. And I learned how to think and use my mind along the journey, you know, of life in every aspect, man.
Yeah, man, because you got some motherfucking 7-foot bodyguards. I'm like, they got these motherfuckers, like, they like obey your every wheel, like, go
in Vegas.
Go get my bag. Nigga, go
you
get
know,
that,
I don't even consider them bodyguards, because a lot of them was homies. You know what I mean?
Right.
And most of them are safer with me than I am with them. You know what I mean? So that's how it really is. But you know, we're a team.
Man, so back to the book. I noticed that as a young age, you know, with your grandma, you know, shout out to her, that she raised you around the farm, and that's what got you into ranching. Is that what got you into the love of animals and farming, you know, growing up with your grandma?
No, that ain't how that went. Definitely my grandmother raised me. You know what I mean? I moved with my grandmother, I think, when I was 11 years old. But my grandmother was right in the heart of the hood. So a lot of that farming was like in my DNA. I never understood, you know, why I was attracted to a lot of wildlife and different things like that until I tapped into my daddy's side of the family. And I was a grown man then. So, you know, that was a DNA thing. That was in my bloodline, man, to be in love with a lot of land and all that kind of stuff, because I ain't know nothing about it. And grandma, you know what I mean? She didn't know much about that. We right in the hood of Fifth Ward, you know, in the ghetto.
Which animals were you most fluent with?
Man, I used to love to hunt. You know what I mean? I used to go to the country with my cousin them when I was like 8 years old. So they taught me how to use a gun, how to shoot a rifle. And it was from then I started killing, you know, like rabbits and birds and coons and different things like that, and started, you know, wanting to raise fighting chickens, you know what I mean? Fighting roosters and things like that. So you know, all of that became attraction from
your farm life. You wasn't milking no cows. You gotta shoot shit up. I had the wrong type of farming.
Yeah, no, that's the way it was, you know.
Oxen and shit.
I got a question. I want to know, throughout all these years in this industry that I've been listening to the Geto Boys, listening to the skits, listening to the interviews, all the industry, I've never heard you lose your composure. Ever. Yeah. Talking, like, how do you remain so calm? I just want to learn that.
We all need to learn that.
Really, I just want to be able, the way you speak and just relax through things. I done seen you settle industry beefs between different artists, situations that you handle. You all with your composure is bar none. Like, I just never seen that. Is it how do you do that, brother? I just want to know.
Well, you know, I think a lot of that had to do with me. Like as a youngster, you know, I had to get mine off a lot of times before, you know, the muscle bound niggas, and that was one of the ways I could steal them or get mine off before they was able to get theirs off, because they never could read me. You know what I mean? They never know, you know, when I'm gonna get it off. So I think that's a mechanism of control, but by the same token, you know, it's a time and a place for everything. You know, it may be a turn up time, but I ain't never been the type of dude that was loud. You know what I mean? That's just not my character.
Okay. And all the talks I had with him, I'd be like, man, what am I? Like, yo, ain't that serious, man. Be like, don't be so personally attached with the music. You made a good song. Make another one. Nigga. Oh, it's the one put on the radio. Relax. Don't be so attached to the music. Make more, nigga. So yeah, man, he definitely told me how to calm my ass down a little bit. I was hyphy. Like, I was one of the hyphiest rappers at Rap Alive. Literally, man.
Yeah.
Hyphy
no, that's real.
Fuck, man. Man, Jay Prince allowed a lot of shit that he wouldn't allow rappers to do. Like, I was allowed to smoke in the studio. Like, that shit wasn't happening with everybody else, man, period. Yeah. So, speaking of Rap A Lot, man, that's a legendary label. I grew up, you know what I mean, just we had whole Rap A Lot crews, man. We had Smoke A Lot crew and the Drink A Lot crew in the Ville, you know what I mean? Because you signed our big homie Seagram, rest in peace. Yeah. So, let's take it back to the start of Rap A Lot. Like, what made you want to, you know what I mean, get into music and, you know what I mean, to start that up?
You know, it was my brother. It was my brother. His name was Sir Rap A Lot. You know what I mean? And in my hustling days, I didn't want my brother in the streets. You know what I mean? Because I didn't feel like he was my stepbrother, and I could tell he wasn't equipped to last. So, and then he was rapping all day. So I'm like, look here, bro, you know, stick with what you love to do, and I'm gonna support you. And I'm gonna do my thing, and you know what I mean. I got you. So that was the beginning of it. You know, it was his dream to be a rapper, and it just so happened along the journey he quit on me, and then I was left with other homies, and you know, I couldn't turn my back on them. So I just got more deeper involved as time went on, and then once I tapped into it being a $1 million playing field, then it really got my attention.
Did you yourself ever dibble and dabble in a little bar spitting every now and then, and then say, you know what, I'm gonna just stick to counting these checks, man. I ain't fucking
you know what I started off doing? I was writing. You know what I mean? I used to write. Like in the beginning when I took over the Geto Boys situation, one of my objectives was to tell my story, because after I seen what they was trying to do, you know what I mean, I went up there to New York and spent some time in New York, and I peeped game while I was in there with Leo Cohen, and this is when the LAL and Ron movement was taking place. So I peeped game what was going on, and then I'm like, oh, okay, so let's take our ass back to Texas and be who we are. I said, matter of fact, a lot of this shit y'all trying to write about, you know what I mean? I'm living there. So let me, I can't make these rhymes. I can't make the lyrics rhyme, but I'm gonna give you some real stories and y'all make it rhyme. And that's when the artist told me I was too deep, right? They was like, man, this shit too deep. So I got rid of them. You know what I mean? I cleaned house with all of them and got Bushwick, Willie D, and Scarface.
We got some hitters.
Right. Okay, so how did you find these motherfuckers? Because it's a story floating around like you took Scarface from Lil Troy or some shit like that. I don't know what the truth is, but I don't know how you met Bushwick, but explain how you get all three of them individuals and put them together.
Well, with Bushwick, I saw Bushwick in a club one night, and I had Bushwick before I met Scarface and Willie D. I just felt like Bushwick was a little energized type of bunny. And I'm like, he got a different look, right? I'm like, he got a different look. He gonna draw attention and we're gonna give him that reel to spit. Now, with Willie D and Fifth Ward, we both from Fifth Ward. So my barber, Willie D was getting at my barber, telling him he wanted to get with me. So that's how he and I tapped in together. With Scarface, I had this club. I forgot the name of the club, but one night I came out the club and Scarface was playing some music for this dude named Steve Funyeg. And I just accidentally walked up behind him and started hearing the song Scarface. You know what I mean? And right then, I kept Scarface with me that whole night. We went and ate breakfast and I let him know my vision and what I wanted to do. And Scarface, you know what I mean, to his credit, you know, he was a real nigga. He let me know that he was with Shortstop, which was Lil Troy label or whatnot. And I remember Lil Troy, he used to valet my cars. You know what I mean? You know, go to the club, right?
Come on, man.
Yeah, no, real talk. He used to park my cars, right? So I knew exactly who he was talking about.
That was the banana in the tailpipe.
So what I done was, you know, respect for Lil Troy, I had a meeting. I went to his spot over there, and I told him, you know, because my thing was, Scarface not signed to you, but y'all done a single, so I'm gonna help you with your single you done, but Scarface gonna be a ghetto boy and we're gonna do our thing. And
if you want to continue to watch these cars, it'll be in your best interest.
So this is what Lil Troy done.
That was the remix. That was you want to continue to have the honor of watching these cars and do your music thing. After y'all finish that, this brother's a ghetto boy.
Yeah. But here's what he done though, yo. He sit and agreed with me and, you know, different shit like that, like it was good. And when I left the building, he kicked off a war with Scarface and Beto, you know, went to threatening them and, you know, all kinds of shit, right? So that's when, you know, I had another meeting with him. I told him Scarface with me moving forward and all Scarface problems is my problems. And that's how, you know, he and me and Scarface kicked it off.
Okay. And again, the washing of these cars shall continue.
That's what I was saying with the skits.
I got the remix.
A lot of your conversations and the things you used to say in them albums was real spilly because you be so calm on the phone, even with like the Ku Klux Klan skits. Like I was from the base, so I never heard nobody talk like that towards racists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just you was real calm on the phone, they yelling and the white dude going back and forth, but I was just like, you always stay so calm. Like,
no, that was real shit though. They flew me out to Mississippi to spit that country shit to me like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was some real life shit. Everything that I spoke about was real life shit. You know, I didn't believe that. Just creating some shit.
Right. And he busted on Damn It Feel Good to Be a Gangster. He had a whole 16 on that motherfucker. Damn It Feel Good to Be a Gangster.
I'm on the freeway on that one.
Yeah, he busted a whole 16. Nigga, that was a single, nigga. He rap, nigga.
How did you get into the boxing game?
Well, boxing always was my first love. You know what I mean? Boxing is something I always wanted to do, and it wasn't a gym at Fifth Ward. So as a young dude, I was like, if I ever get some paper, I'm gonna build a boxing gym in my hood. And you know, I kept my word, and that's what happened. And as I started mingling with them kids, you know, I got that itch all over again, man, and set up a meeting with Mike Tyson out there in Las Vegas. And because I was after the best, you know what I mean? I was after Tyson right after he came home. And from there, I ended up meeting Floyd Mayweather in the gym, not even knowing who he was. So that's how that came to fruition.
When he was Pretty Boy Floyd?
Yeah, he was Pretty Boy.
Yeah.
That was like around 9'5", 9'6", 9'7".
No, this had to be 9'9".
9'9". Yeah, he came right when I came to Rap a Lot.
Yeah.
Literally, like me and him came together. We had the twin fucking Lexuses. Floyd had a blue Lexus, I had the red one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was watching some DVD.
Hold on. Let's stick on the box.
No, it was on the box. This is another box comparison about the Floyd situation. And something didn't go right. And I know somebody said somebody made a phone call and said that you was on the phone. Wasn't on the phone. You made the call.
No, somebody made a call and had to drop a bag.
And they said, I don't know, whatever you got going on.
Somebody had to drop a bag, man.
We need to make this situation
What's the promoter name that's a partner with Golden Boy?
I don't know. That's why I was trying to ask you.
Partner of Golden Boy did him.
What happened with that situation?
Well, that's a Bob Arum, I think, told that story.
Bob Arum, yes.
That's
Bob Arum. ESPN.
So that's why I was sitting there like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this guy named Jay Prince had to come drop $500,000 to Floyd, or it's going to be bad news.
That was just a misunderstanding that we was able to straighten out. You know what I mean? He and I are cool today. That's my little brother. But there was a misunderstanding in the air with some of his crew. And, sometimes a misunderstanding can take place with members that may work for two different individuals and they have to get shit straight. So that's what that was about.
Okay, for sure. Boy.
Man,
Call washes.
Hold on, man. Speaking of fight, man, and Tyson, man. When the motherfucking Tyson and Roy Jones fight just happened, right? Everybody was like, Young Man predicted it. I'm like, no, nigga. Jay was setting up that fight back then. It just never went through, but I already said it in my fucking rap. So now it happens. Everybody like, I am not no fucking no. It was happening. Nah, Jay was lining up that fight.
He was predict the Raiders shit, though.
Yeah, that was cool, but this is real info coming from
the Raiders.
Yeah, he was setting up the fight. So explain the first time you were setting up the Roy Jones and Tyson fight and why it didn't fall through.
Yeah. I flew Roy and Mike Tyson. We all met out in Houston at my ranch. And we had a conversation.
The ranch?
Yeah. We had a conversation about that fight, years ago, over a decade ago, and we actually set it up to take fruition. And the dude, what is the people out there in the Bay Area that own the Sacramento Kings and the Malutes.
The Malutes.
Yeah. So we went and had a conversation. We went and had a conversation with the Malute brothers who we was trying to get to guarantee, the paper, and they didn't want to guarantee the amount that Roy wanted at the time. And at the time, this dude Tarver was like really popping off a bunch of shit. And, long story short, Roy decided to say he was going to deal with Tarver first, and then we'll deal with that other thing. And that didn't go as planned.
Yeah, because Tarver and them.
Yeah, Tarver had the belt, right?
Yeah.
You said you brought him out to the ranch. Can we just clear this up? Because look, he stayed on 200 acres, 50,000 acres.
No,
ranch,
1,000 acres.
It's 1,000 acres?
1,000 plus.
1,000 plus now. See,
now, Rick Ross shit is 300, so that's like 4 Rick Ross joints.
I understand. I'm just wanting to clear it up right here because niggas be, man, it's 2 football fields.
Nigga,
so I'm like,
no, nigga, 20 football fields.
Right,
Good luck.
Right.
I just 50 football fields.
Them to say it right here so they know.
Bro, you can't walk around that motherfucker. To get to the main house, you gotta take a trip. It's miles, my nigga. It's miles. From the entrance of the ranch to get to that crib, nigga, it's miles. You better have a horse, nigga, or something. A skateboard, nigga. You better not be walking. Hell no, man. So, Andre Ward. How'd you come across Andre Ward, man? That's another town great, legend that we love, man. How you hook up with the Ward guy, man?
You know, that begun with Virgil Hunter, man.
Virgil.
You know, Virgil, yeah, he reached out to me.
Is that really Keisha Cole Daddy?
From what I understand. You know what I mean?
Shout out Virg, man.
Yeah. So he reached out and told me, you know, years ago, man, he said, if you help me, you know, with this boy, he'll win us a gold medal. He said, right now, you know, he got 1 foot, you know, in the street and 1 foot in the boxing ring. He said, but if you help me save him, he'll win a gold medal. And I flew Dre down to Houston and watch him whoop several people, heavyweights and everything. You know what I mean? I became a believer immediately. And, you know, I put things together, man, where he was able to go and see Roy Jones, who went to Roy Jones' camp immediately, and he beat up every sparring partner in Roy Jones' camp. And, you know, I left there a believer, man, and we left there with a plan. And he honored, you know what I mean, everything he said he would do, and I done the same thing. And he went to Greece and won that gold medal, man. 2 years later.
Come on, man. Yeah, come on, man. So you get him into professional boxing. Now, explain this journey.
Well, professional, you know, of course you have to go through the amateur program. It's almost just like college or something after high school. You know, you go into amateurs. And, you know, a lot of what I do is just like every other athlete in boxing, I mean, basketball, football, you can see the elite talent that stand out above and beyond the average. And that's who Andre Ward was. You know what I mean? I think Dre had like 100 and some fights and lost probably 5 or something like that. And he hadn't lost in like 13, 12 years or something. So clearly, you know what I mean? He was an elite talent. So you know, that was unquestionable. And when you see that, when you see the LeBrons, you know, like I knew who LeBron was when he was in high school out there in Cleveland, because my street team workers used to have him in a car with them and different things like that. This was when I was just focusing on rap. He was trying to get me in the sports age. Had LeBron, so he was there to be gotten. You know what I mean? I just was looking another direction. But that talent stand out. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to get homies around the world to focus on, you know, all this talent, all this money, you know, with the little homies that you may be overlooking. You know what I mean? All they need is some attention and spend some time and some paper with them. And then bam, there's gonna come a day when they're gonna go to the NBA, NFL and do their thing. You know what I mean? And that's supposed to be ours.
Right. My thing, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room right quick, man. Is boxing a Mexican sport? And another question is it so much of a Mexican sport that Andre Ward said, fuck it, I quit. They ain't giving me the fights that I want.
No, the furthest thing from the truth. Okay. You know what I mean? One thing about boxing, everybody with 2 hands can, you know what I mean, can get out. So that sport don't belong to no one race or nothing like that. You know, it's multicultural. And, you know, that ain't the reason why Dre decided he was done. You know, Dre, you know, his initials is SOG, which is Son of God. And Dre has always been a spiritual dude to the extent where he follow his spirit when it lead him to do different things. You know what I mean? I do that a lot too. I call it my spirit. Some people may call it your intuition. Some people may call it the discernment. But, you know, all it add up to be is that power that's inside of you. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we do things and it may be something on your left shoulder say, man, don't do that. And then on the right shoulder, it'd be like, nigga, go on and do that. You know what I mean? In other words, we always have that exit on every decision that we make, whether we listen to it or not. So absolutely, Dre's spirit led him, man, to retire with all of his tools, faculties, and different things, and being a rich, successful man. So that's how that story ends. And I can't knock. As bad as I wanted to see him continue to fight, I respect a man, you know what I mean, when he make a decision best on the Almighty speaking to him.
He basically beat everybody ass. So, I mean, there wasn't nobody left on the list, but they kept ducking the Triple G, though. Like, they kept hiding Triple G. I don't give a fuck. They promote Triple G like he was the next nigga.
Yeah.
Why they wouldn't give him Triple G?
Well, Triple G didn't want to give him Triple G. You know what I mean? They understood. They understood what that meant.
G, like he the next Oscar De La Hoya or something.
Movies and commercials and shit. They don't want to get their eye knocked out.
Man, Triple G ain't did one fucking commercial, man.
Niggas got other shit going. Some of them motherfuckers get in and get in like, check it out. Give me all the easy shit. What other?
They gave him the easy fights to make him look good. He ain't had no real heavy fights. And Andre Ward wanted that smoke. Yeah. And bruh kept ducking the fucking smoke, man. Period.
Say, bruh wanted all his wits.
But how was it negotiating with them, Jay?
Well, you know, it wasn't really a big not where that fight was concerned. You know what I mean? Where that Triple G thing was concerned, you know, they understood that Dre was about town business. So it wasn't no, you know what I mean? They had a made up mind that we're going to stay away from him because they understood that he was going to spoil their next move. So, you know, being on the other side, really, in retrospect, they were smart because Dre was going to destroy him. You know what I mean? And they understood that, and they went on and milk the cow the best way they could, you know?
Dead cow, man. That motherfucker's out of here, man. Somebody else spanked him before, you know what I mean? So, hey, God don't like ugly. It happened anyway.
So, what fighters on your roster right now?
Oh, man, I have quite a few fighters, man. Shakur Stevenson, Jared Anderson, Troy Isley, FLOYD Diaz, F.A. Joshua, Tony Yoka.
Sound like a nice
man, the list goes on and on, man.
Sound like
I got Tucker. Yeah, Jahad Tucker. Well, I'm trying to remember all of it. And I know I'm forgetting some of them, but I got a hell of a roster right now that we putting our hand down in a major way.
Yo, got Willie D in the gym helping and working out with that. This nigga box, right? Willie was
you know, Will got them hands, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I said, wasn't he boxing for a minute?
Willie D I ain't gonna go there, man. I'm gonna have to ask for that. I'm not. Jay already told me about this, but I was gonna put it on United Girls of America. You're like, nah, man, you don't want them problems. Man. Will gonna come holler at you, man. Like, all right, delete the footage. So yeah, Will, he gets down though. It wasn't he a Golden Glove, right?
Will knocked out, went out there to New York and got with that boy. What's his name?
Sticky Fingers.
Melly Mel?
No, Melly Mel. He beat up Melly Mel.
Yeah. All them muscles. Melly Mel had all them muscles on it.
Melly Mel, man. Beat the brains off that nigga, man.
Yeah. All them big muscles.
MTV or some shit.
I didn't see that one. I got to pull that up.
Beat the brakes off the nigga, man. Period. Will is the deal, man. Period.
For sure, guys.
What's the name of the boxing company, Jay?
J Prince Boxing.
That's what I thought, man. My son training right now, man. And I told him to check you out, man. You know what I mean? He only 14, beautiful. Man. Give him some years, man. You know, but Bill Haney, man. Town business, man. His son is a fucking animal, bro.
Yeah,
Was
man.
his son the nigga that gave Floyd issues in the sparring? Because they said somebody gave him issues in sparring.
I never witnessed that, but I will say that Devin is the truth, you know what I mean? And Bill, the homie, has done a spectacular job with, you know what I mean, representing his son. You know what I mean? So I salute
Devin
the
Haney
homie for what he's done. Yeah, beautiful job. You know what I mean? You got managers that been in the business for years, you know, couldn't have handled them the way Bill came in, and, you know, that's his blood. So, you know, he got on the management end, on the training, coaching end. He done it all, and they're a success, man.
Yeah, he being ass, man. Go ahead, town business, man.
What you think about Adrian Broner last fight, and what you think about him in his ups and downs, and why you ain't maybe stepped in and tried to give him that big brother, big, you know, Why you ain't what's
that nigga's a Floyd Mayweather wannabe mini.
I'm just asking you what the
just give you the buck, my nigga.
I know when Floyd raised him. We all know that he brushed him. He
Broner,
him, and he tried to...
Broner, little homie, you know what I mean? Broner, you know, he trying to get it together. You know what I mean? I believe he'll get it together.
I think he need a more solid foundation, like
that's what I'm
Jay
saying.
Prince alliance.
You know, is it like football? You kind of don't want to pick up the problems with the player.
Need to Belichick his ass.
Like,
it need to be Belichick.
Well, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense with me. But I think Broner said it. I think he said it best. You know, when he said he need to stay in the gym and get more fights. You know what I mean? Because he gonna get in trouble if they leave him out of that gym too long. So
don't tell me you was one of them homies he mentioned in the courtroom. He's like, man, the homies, man, you know, they give me money. And they're like, well, why you ain't got the money back? They tamed you.
I turned $13
They detained that nigga, man. Like, where the money now? Nigga, I want to know what they gave you. Nigga, pay what you gotta pay. And that sweater was horrible. Yeah, horrible sweater on, man.
Well, my cousin live in Houston. He said you done sent a lot of people to college and, you know, to help follow their dreams and start their businesses. And I just want to commend you on that. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Take a toast with us, man. Bust some of that wine, man. What the wine?
Oh man, let me get some.
Yeah, with that loyalty, man. We gotta take a toast, man. I gotta take a toast with the old man, man. You feel me?
Some with loyalty, man.
Yeah, man. You know. Yeah, all of that, bro. Serious. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Ooh. Salute, baby. Yada.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Know about this boxing, man. What we doing with the spritz, man? What makes you get into the spirits and the spritz, man?
Jesus juice. Jesus.
What made you produce the Jesus juice, man? You know, man, you very religious people, man. We believe in Jesus, man. So this is the Jesus juice, man.
You know, you know, I was out here. They got the news station. They got this doctor by the name of Dr. Red Duke. You know what I mean? And Dr. Red Duke was speaking about wine one day and like giving me the health benefits and health tips where wine was concerned. And I was like, damn, I ain't know no health benefits where wine is concerned. You know what I mean? And, you know, I started sipping because he was talking about the antioxidants and you know, the dark grapes and different things, how it's good for your heart and shit like that. So, you know, I started sipping. Then I came out there to Cali and went to the valley out there. What's the name of that?
Napa Valley.
Napa Valley, man. I went out there to Napa Valley and I was able to like peep things from a business perspective where the vineyards was concerned. And then it really went to making sense to me. I'm like,
Money, you know I got a lot of land. I got 1,000 goddamn acres.
This all it costs.
Shit. Give me about 20 acres, all grapes. All vineyard.
So you know what I mean? I just diversified my portfolio, man. And,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
My portfolio, player.
Yeah. I'm gonna change my life.
So it went from sipping on it to be healthy to like, fuck that, I'm about to put out my own wine.
Yeah, and what better name, man, than loyalty? You know what I mean? I want to get a home as something that, you know, to really celebrate, you know, when they having a drink. You know what I mean? You toasting, you know, in the name of loyalty, then that's a real victory situation to me because we know for anybody to have any success in anything, you know, that word and those actions got to be in the mix, loyalty. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, this is it. And my wishes and my hopes is if Al Snitch drank it, you know what I mean, he gets sick and you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm on that kind of shit with it.
Hey, let me get one.
Need to get the kind that talk, and then you get to the phone and just tell his ass that shit. Like
we gonna have it right here on the counter, so if the nigga drinking and get sick.
Jay, you a dude that I know that never indulged in nothing. Like you didn't do wine, you didn't do nothing, like smoking, none of that shit. So now you got your wine, and I seen you on Drink Champs, and you were loaded. I ain't never seen you drunk. I'm like, why? You gotta, because I ain't never seen him drink.
Never.
He buy bottles, like when we was at Rapper, like he buy all the bottles and pass them out to us. He don't drink at all. And what Pimp C? Pimp C had the cranberry juice, and Jay had the juice too. Period. Yeah. So what make you want to have a drink all of a sudden?
You know, like I said, to me, that's a health drink, but you absolutely right, man. That Drink Champ shit had me, you know what I mean? I saw myself in there. I was like, God damn, I finished a whole bottle by myself. I had never, you know what I mean, done the whole bottle. So I got back to the hotel, man, and fell asleep and everything, man.
Clothes on.
Shoes didn't even goddamn get off my feet, man.
But you was knocking down, what you had some goddamn lamb chops or something. You was knocking that shit down. You like, these are awesome. Now you kept talking about the food. This is incredible.
Yeah, and I was hungry, man. You know what I mean? I was hungry, and you know what I mean, on that goddamn red wine, and I sit and looked at it. I was like, God damn, I think I may have said some shit I shouldn't have said, and all kinds of shit, you know. But I had a ball though, you know what I mean? I had a ball, man, and you know, that was a historic moment, you know.
Man, for me, I'm like, yo, this nigga drinking. I ain't never seen him drink, and I see you kind of tipsy. That's a good thing about wine. It make you tipsy, not fucked up to where you gotta get carried out the house. You know what I mean? Like, carry this nigga, he throw it up everywhere. Wine is a cool, mellow thing. So when I seen him, I'm like, oh, I ain't never seen Jay like this. Never, man. So it was funny and it was surprising. You know what I mean? I'm like, look at my G, man. I finally see how I feel when I get smoked this blunt. Feel like I feel.
Long as I ain't embarrass y'all, you know what I mean?
Oh, hell no. It was clear. I think it was a great interview. I don't think it was out of pocket. You know what I mean? It was just crazy seeing you drink. You know what I mean? And get a little buzz, you know what I mean? And cracking jokes and shit, like, you know what I mean? So it was funny, you know what I mean? I ain't never seen it.
Let's toast right now. I'm going to toast right now.
Yada.
For life.
We need some loyalty, though. We got this bullshit ass Pinot Grigio, man. You make me feel bad. You don't even know how to say that shit. I can't even pronounce that shit.
Make one called Jesus juice. Jesus juice. Wait, but I remember Chuck told me when he first signed the Rapper Lot and he was out in Texas and he was smoking weed in the club.
Oh my God, Jay, you remember the police called you like at 4 a.m. And he's like, what you want me to do with him? We smoking weed in the club. You like, let him go. And he's like, yo, that nigga came back to me like, you lucky Jay Prince said, whoa, why you stop that weed? I didn't see it with the weed again. But he got Jay Prince on speed dial.
Hey, Yuck gonna blow in church. Yuck can't give a goddamn way he was. You know what I mean? They could be on the front pew. Yuck gonna goddamn light up and blow.
But this is back when they was putting niggas under the jail for weed.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right.
And everything in Texas, you got a crime in California is a crime in Texas on steroids.
Right.
You know
Exactly. That's why I ain't left. That's why we never left. Like, bro,
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Rapper Lot at Sheraton Hotel, like that's right around the corner from Rapper Lot. I think I got our account fucked up. I think we got dropped because of me. I was smoking that goddamn hotel out. Me and the outlaws. Them goddamn hallways were so smoky. Nigga, they was calling
with the gate, there's black with the
the compound, but we right around the corner from that motherfucker at this hotel that all the artists stayed at. Smoke that motherfucker out, bro. They fucked their account. We had to stay somewhere else. For real. Fuck their account up.
That's real.
Fuck the account up, bro. So let's take it back to Oakland, man, and Rap a Lot, man. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Seagram, man. I want to know, how did you discover Seagram and what made you, get down with him and sign him to Rap a Lot? You know what I mean? You being a down south label and him being an artist from the West Coast, mainly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, back then Seagram, was man, one of the best talents. When Seagram first came to Texas, man, Seagram freestyle for goddamn about an hour straight from Houston, Texas to my ranch. You know what I mean? And when we made it to my ranch, he continued to spit. So, and I'm talking about some real shit, right? So between, Black, you know what I mean? Because at the time, Seagram was with the homie Black, on the label, and Rico, all of the family out that way, man. It was the right thing to do. You know what I mean? It was the beginning of the move where the Bay Area was concerned, and I enjoyed that journey, man, every step of the way,
Man, I don't think without Sig, I'd be at Rap a Lot. You know what I mean? And the homies Rico, you know what I mean? And Tone Capone, I guess he was in your ear too. Mike D.
Yeah, Tone.
It was a lot. Yeah. There was a lot of people in your ear, but just my neighborhood, like beyond Seagram, like a lot of people from my neighborhood work for Rap a Lot. You know what I mean? Period. Yeah. Like a lot of my homies, my big homies and shit. So it was just a family thing. Like when I came on board, it was like, family, period.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's real, because I got a lot of family out there, in the West Coast, in the Oakland area. And, Oakland embraced Rap a Lot before any other area in the West Coast embraced us. They could relate to our movement when a lot of the other West Coast areas couldn't relate to it. You know what I mean? So we always had that identity with one another where we was feeling one another. So therefore, we just figured out how to diversify it into the music game, and that's what we were doing,
Man, Seagram, rest in peace, man. Legendary dude. Like, this nigga in my neighborhood, legendary dude. He was a real active nigga in the streets too.
So,
activity.
We used to hear in Richmond.
And 1 foot in the street, 1 foot in the rap game. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You know what I mean? Period. It ends up, you know what I mean, always bad. Either jail or some other shit, man. So rest in peace to Seagram. But which one is that?
I sent Seagram his ticket. We were getting ready to do the 10th anniversary. And I sent Seagram his ticket to be gone. He was supposed to be in Houston like a day or two before he got killed. And he told me he had to delay that ticket, you know what I mean, because of some business he had to handle. If he would have made it on that date that, you know what I mean, I sent that ticket, then, he may have been here today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
real talk.
Crazy.
Matter of fact, it was the next day. I talked to him to daylight. You know what I mean? It was daylight out here to like 6, 7 in the morning. You know what I mean? We kicking it, and he was telling me why he had. I'm like, man, bring your ass on in here, man. Let's, you know what I mean? Prepare for what we're gonna do. And man, he rescheduled that ticket, man, and bam.
That's why I got my ass out of Oakland, man. Oakland is treacherous, but especially my neighborhood in East Oakland, they just crazy, bro. So, I got out of there, Jake. Period. I got shot. Nigga, you let me know. You ain't got to do nothing else to me, man. I got shot. Bye-bye.
LA. How did you transpire today with the new artists? How did you and Junior come about Drake?
It wasn't even Junior. It was Jazz. So Jazz.
That was Jazz. I tell this story a lot. Jazz was touring with Lil Wayne, and Jazz was having a ball out there trying to hit everything that was moving out there with Lil Wayne.
Should.
Yeah,
nigga on the road with Wayne, Jay Prince's son, nigga, I'm hitting everything moving, nigga. Period.
Yeah, but I reached out to him and let him know that I didn't want him coming back home broke. You know what I mean? I didn't want him having access to all that power, and then he come home, you know what I mean, empty pockets. So, you know, it was then where I planted the seed in his mind. I said, you go ask Lil Wayne if he'll do a record label deal with you, you know, 50-50 joint venture or whatnot. And he done that, and he was excited about that. And that's when I asked him, now, who your first artist is? I wanted them to be focused. You know what I mean? Not thinking about these gals, but think about some real paper. And that's when he introduced me to Drake, man. He introduced me to Drake, and I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? I couldn't hear it. I tried to discourage him. You know what I mean? But he stood on all 10 toes and said, hey, Dad, this is the new sound. This is the new sound. So, you know, all his life, I had taught him the importance of a buzz. You know, in the marketing meetings every week, I had them working around rap a lot. So they heard me like getting on people's ass around the world, because I had a street rep in every city around the world. And every Thursday or whatnot, I'm talking to him, asking him about what's buzzing. So he understood the importance of that word, and he hit me with that word where Drake was concerned. And, you know, I immediately got my attention. You know, I'm like, oh, he buzzing? He said, he buzzing. I said, where is he buzzing? He said, in Canada. So I'm like, oh, shit. In Canada?
We got to get buzzing in the USA, nigga.
Yeah. But I verified that, and it was real. You know what I mean? Because I had homies up there in Canada, and, you know, before I knew it, I said, okay, this is real. Let's bring him in the U.S. Then the rest was history. You know, brought him here. I told him, I said, now you take him back on tour with you with Lil Wayne, and let Lil Wayne put his arms around him on stage. Now we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see, because I see he loves that. Toast to that. He loves. He loves Houston. Like that boy Drake, Houston, like he rap up there.
It was rappers in Houston mad at Drake because they was like, you stealing our style, you taking all our bitches, you fucking all our motherfucking stuff, like, hey, you buying all our bitches' cars and houses, fuck you, get out of here. They was mad at him.
He rap a lot about Houston. So
Houston, Atlanta. Houston, Atlanta.
Rightfully so. Yeah, rightfully so.
Cheers.
So Jazz still working with artists, putting artists on?
Oh yeah, Jazz still active, man. You know, James active. James got this new artist, Honeycomb Brazy. That's buzzing real strong right now.
Yeah, I just
I had like 3 songs. They active in the game.
I heard about it when I heard about it, but that's
Back to Drake. Even when Wayne put his arm around him and said, "Did you think he would blow up and be bigger than Wayne and bigger than Nick?"
No, I never saw that. I never saw. You know what I mean? Because I didn't even believe in what I heard.
Right.
So I can't tell that lie. You know, I never saw that. You know, but it is. It's facts. You know what I mean? Jazz did though. I tell you who did it, my son, and he stood on it, man. I was trying to discourage him, He stood on it, man, with like confidence. I'm telling you, Dad, it's the new sound. I'm like, I don't know what he hearing, but he my son. He come out of my nut bag, so I'm gonna ride with him.
Nut bags don't lie, man. You can't problem no nut.
Hey, but look, you used to putting out real gangster shit. So this is like left field compared to the music that you actually put out. So you like, I don't see it. But like we ain't, like you say, you used to call your reps and say what's buzzing. So you need the rep of somebody out there in them different markets to tell you what's hitting out there. You know what I mean? So your son had his ear to the street. He let you know what was hit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So was you good friends with Tony Draper? Because Suave House back at that time seemed like that was the
competition for rap a lot in Houston.
But Houston for like Memphis and shit.
No, that wasn't the case. Draper, like, I met Draper when he was like 16 or 17 with a basketball.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Hold on. First, Lil Joy was washing your cars. Now you come on. This is club talk. This big boy club talk.
I got questions. I got questions.
Let him continue.
Yeah, but Draper used to love that game basketball, you know what I mean? And he hung around, I started spitting game, you know, with him about the rap thing. Matter of fact, Draper brought Big Mike to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's how Big Mike came?
Okay.
Yeah, Draper was the one who brought Big Mike to me. So, you know what I mean? Draper sit around and peep game, you know what I mean? It was sharp for him, even at 17, 16 years old, to be around sucking up game and peeping game. And then he diversified his thing, went to Memphis. You know what I mean? Put his hand down in Memphis with 8-Ball, MJG, Tila, and his whole movement. It was never a competition thing where he and I was concerned because he was my little homie. Okay. You know what I mean? Like Draper was a student of me along with Cash Money and Master P. You know what I mean? I was doing with my students. You know, I'm sharing wisdom with them. I inspire them. I motivate them.
Right. Absolutely. Speaking of Tony Draper, what I was about to say about the goddamn Tony Draper, man, Big Mike, man. I know there's some bullshit, but we gotta go there, man. Let's address the elephant in the room, man. We seen on the Wu-Tang documentary and shit, a group is the hardest shit to keep together. Like niggas be beefing and shit. So why did the Geto Boys get remodeled and new members came in and came out so many times? Like how did Willie D leave and then Big Mike end up being a Geto Boy?
Yeah, you know, when you got a movement that's taking place, you know, it don't be a perfect situation a lot of times. And, you know, I'm the type of individual, I believe in like adjusting to the climate, you know what I mean? Or to the hands that I'm dealt, you know what I mean? And when, you know, certain situations that would pop up and one wasn't ready for plan B or plan C, then I knew how to adjust and keep the movement going, because that's the reason I came up with the name Geto Boys. I always felt like it was Geto Boys all around the world. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, it ain't gonna be no I in we where this is concerned. And however we need to keep this movement going, then I'm gonna figure out how to do that. And that's what I've done, even prior to the second set of Geto Boys. You know, I made the adjustments that was necessary to keep the train moving, man.
Niggas was in there.
Hold on.
Niggas trying to beat me, rapping my parts and shit. See, nigga trying to even rap like me.
Hold on. Before, like, I'm gonna tell you, this being a real Rap-A-Lot fan in the field. The first time I heard Big Mike was with 3-2, the fucking Convicts. The Convicts.
They was
hard as fuck. Oh, they had the khaki suits on, yeah.
Khaki suits.
So I heard him.
Rap like me.
I heard him on the Convicts, man. So what made you, did Willie D quit? Like what happened? Like explain what happened to make you say, okay, Will is out. We putting Big Mike in. 3-2 was going solo. We ain't doing the Convicts no more. Like what made you? What made you make all them executive decisions, man?
Yeah, you know, once again. And
Willie was a cleanup man. Like he cleaned up man. That shit used to be man.
Will was on pause. He was on pause for a minute, and we kept it moving. And as history reminds us, Will came on back with the family, and you know what I mean? The movement continued.
You like Barry Gordy and his rap shit. That's what I'm saying, nigga. Like, niggas up there mad shit. Like, you just gonna replace me?
All right, man. Another one that everybody, because this shit blew my mind, man. Bushwick Will allegedly shot his eye out. And then y'all got this nigga on the stretcher with the eye patch. You got Willie D, you got Scarface, wheeling this nigga through the hospital. Is that a real picture of this nigga in the hospital? Was y'all really in the hospital with that picture? And that became the album cover.
No, that's real shit. That's the way that really was.
How did you say, fuck it, man, take the picture? Like, what made you say, fuck it? Like, you know,
it was a group decision. You know what I mean? It was a group decision where we all decided to because we was often doing shit that was real and authentic. You know what I mean? So we was like, okay, let's do this. Let's do it. We ain't gonna let doctors, nurses, nobody stop us. So we rolled them all the way throughout the halls and shit against the wheels of all the people saying stop, and got our picture done outside.
That was like,
oh wow!
That was like that was back on film. That was
shit.
film. It wasn't no digital or none of that shit back then. That was like a Polaroid. That was a Polaroid.
It may have been a Polaroid.
It's just spit out the bottom of the camera. You gotta shake it. Send me to write his name at the bottom too.
My nigga.
Rush that to
that was the coldest and the realest album cover, my nigga, that ever been made.
Next
like
to
nobody
Ice-T and his bitch.
Nah, man, that ain't
cover.
no. I'm talking about the realest.
Oh, really?
Ice-T won the Power.
Yeah.
When they did the Behind, that's the dopest, definitely. But the realest.
Oh yeah,
album cover ever fucking done was "We Can't Be Stopped" the Geto Boys.
How did y'all come about with the "Smile for Me" concept with Tupac and Scarface at that time?
You know,
I know that answer, but let them talk.
That's an interesting story behind that "Smile for Me," man, because I tried to get Biggie on that song.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. After Pop, had passed, of course we had Pop, but, I tried to get Biggie on it. And at the time, Puffy them was, and Biggie, I guess they felt like, they didn't want to be on something that Pop was on at the time. I didn't try to hide it as if Pop wasn't on it, but I just felt like it would be a good fit to have Biggie on it to, smooth out a lot of that shit that I knew was in the air.
Right. Okay.
But they didn't want to do that. And we went on without them. It still turned out to be a good song, but it would have been better with Biggie on it.
The visual was nice, like the concept of the whole situation and how y'all found it. Because I'm arguing, that's back in the day. I'm like, nigga, he is alive. That nigga like,
dude did look like
dude really looked like the way y'all grasped the whole of the video.
Man, we damn near spent $500,000 on that video.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was one of
them. Williams? It was a movie-centric type of fucking...
It wasn't hype. Who was it?
No, it wasn't hype. It was, I had to look on it and remember, but whoever it was, I like to get some of my goddamn money back. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You can make the call if you want to.
But that was back then when Hype them took the videos way up, so everybody was, you know what I mean, spending their paper like
Jay, that was a kickback game, man. Everybody, you know what I mean? Mike Mack, all the niggas was getting kickbacks, man. Niggas was doing kickback for everybody, at Version, everybody. The shit for 500, and we're gonna take 200 and really shoot it for. No, we're gonna take 300 and really shoot it for 200. You know what I mean? So we knew what the game was. It was a kickback game. These niggas was pocketing all that money. Real. That's why Busta Rhymes had all them big ass rings and shit. He had them $2 million videos. He was getting kicked back like, I need 500, son. No, you ain't doing the video hype. I need 500,000 while sending these in your milk. Like, yeah.
Now, could you hook me up with your...
Hold on, let me do on this Tupac thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The studio session with Tupac and Scarface.
Yeah.
That we got on camera. That was at the beginning of Smile. Explain that night and explain why Tupac came down and what Scarface and Tupac was working on when he did that freestyle in the studio.
Oh man, I wasn't there. I wasn't actually there, but I heard.
You wasn't there?
I don't think I was there then. I wasn't in the studio with Pop. I think I was in Houston.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Last time I saw Pop was like a week or so before he got killed. And I had a meeting in Death Row with Suge, and he asked me to go out with him that night. You know what I mean? He asked me to go out. But my dad had just got out of jail, so I'm like, I got to go, you know what I mean, see the old man. So that was the last time he and I interacted. But I heard how Pac went in that studio that night because I was monitoring everything as it was taking place. And the man, all the homies kept telling me how much of a beast he was in that studio. Pac had finished by 3 or 4 goddamn songs before Face had finished one. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, he was that kind of way, you know, in that studio, man.
Bro, you don't age, my brother. Can you send me some of the special one? Like, for real, the
Shea Butter Foundation. You got going on.
Shea Prince water, whatever the fuck you over there, because you just start drinking Jesus.
That loyalty, man. That loyalty is the truth, man.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, send when you send that 2 cases, because this nigga drink a lot of wine. He ain't gonna split it up evenly. So I want to make sure
man, cut it out, man. Anyway, let's get back to a legendary move you made that I think was a legendary chess move, man, because it was a big ass fucking labor war for this artist when he got out of jail, man. Explain, how did you acquire Pimp C and Bun B, from, you know, known as UGK, man? That was when I was that rapper, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
Power move, man.
Yeah.
Explain that whole situation, bro.
That was a situation that, you know, back when Pimp C them first came out, you know, I damn near burned up a new Lexus that I had bought trying to get to Port Arthur to be in business with Pimp C there. And when I made it there, you know, Pimp, Pimp was real. You know, he was real with me. Say, man, we signed to this label and we signed. So I'm like,
to Jive. They signed to Jive.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I missed the ball on this one. I say, but here go my number, man. I said, and this was key. You know what I mean? This was key. I said, if you have any problems with anybody, you know what I mean? Here's my number, and I'm down with you. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna charge you nothing. Just let me know. Y'all family. Y'all right in my backyard. So bam, you know, they never forgot that. And along the journey, you know, they would call me and I'm helping them out, you know, giving them game, you know, to stay afloat. But when Pimp got locked up, Jive didn't want Bun to make a living. You know what I mean? And I didn't feel that was right. You know, I'm like, how y'all gonna stop the homie from making a living? Pimp gonna be gone 2-3 years or whatnot. You know, y'all can't do that. So me and Bun, you know, had a conversation, and from there, you know, I put things in motion where Jive was concerned. And, you know, ultimately, I convinced them to allow me to do solos with Bun, and then I convinced them to do a solo with Pimp when he got out, and then I convinced them to allow me to be an executive producer on that UGK album.
Never asked when they got out.
Who was the CEO at that time? Bob Aaron? Nigga ran that.
Barry Wise. Barry Wise.
Barry Wise.
Yeah, with Barry Wise.
Yeah. Barry was very wise.
Very wise. That's what I was going to say.
Very wise decision, they said. You know?
Yeah.
Explain Pimp C getting out of jail, because that was a legendary moment. Like, this is the introduction of this chain. You know what I mean? Like, when I think your wife gave you a rap lot chain for your birthday. Remember this, Jay? And I was begging, like, yo, we need chains, we need rap lot. You're like, nah, nigga, this is my chain. Slow down, Turbo. Not like this is how I'm talking. Not how he talk, but he's like, nigga, slow down. This is my birthday gift. And then he just popped up one time, gave us rap lot chains. Like, oh shit, we on, right? So Pimp C come home, right? And I go out there to do I think he got the video with T.I., right? Out there, right? Him, when they ride, they got the video with T.I., and he premieres the big rapper lot chain. This boy, right? I'm ready to tuck my little rapper lot chain. Like, oh, I ain't got the big shit. Him and Bun had the big one. I'm like, oh, I had this lump in my throat so big. Like, nigga, my little ass chain, right? So I think it was All-Star Weekend, right? I come out there and we all ride to a party. You're like, yeah, ride with me. And we in the fucking Phantom. We in the Phantom. And you like digging the glove department. They pulled out the jewelry thing. You say that's you, and it was this chain, man. The big boy rap a lot.
Yeah,
I still got it. I still got it. Like, I would never get rid of this, pawn it, sell it, none of that shit. Period. You know what I mean? It's a trophy. I begged for this shit. I was the first artist. Jay, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was the first nigga like, we need Revelation.
Yeah. That's real.
His birthday gift from his wife. Like, we need that. What's it, Jay? What not, Jay?
No, that's real. That's real. Yeah, that's real. And you represented it to the fullest. You know what I mean? That's
to this day.
So you gave Pimp C a grand welcome home, man. Explain that how when you picked them up, y'all went and got some. Y'all did y'all thing. It was a lot of shit, man. Let them explain what they did, man. They did a lot of shit, man.
Well, while Pimp was gone, he and I done a lot of brainstorming, you know what I mean, on how life was gonna be, you know, when he came home, because it's important, as y'all know, to get your mind right while you know what I mean, doing time. You don't serve no time, you let time serve you. So that was what Pimp was doing. And on the exit gate, we showed up in full throttle, you know what I mean, lights, camera, action, you know what I mean, and let people see, you know, how we represented it from the exit gate all the way to the Rolls Royce dealership, where we went and stunted, into the jewelry stores, you know what I mean, everything that Pimp wanted to be embraced with to make him feel good about the exit gate. That's what we done.
It was a lot of money on the table for that nigga. But man, they didn't do it, like, at the end of the day, they didn't do what Jay Prince did. Like, on top of whatever his deal was, he like, man, whatever car you want, pick that. And then he wrecked one of the motherfuckers, right? He wrecked the first Bentley, and y'all had to go buy the nigga another one, right?
Yeah. He bought him another.
Oh, no, I mean, he bought him another. My bag.
Yeah.
He bought him another one, man. But he wrecked one and had to buy him another one. But, okay, now, Pimp is out. Full throttle. We got Bun and Pimp back together. They rocking. Pimp died.
Yeah.
Where was you when this happened, and how did you feel when it went down, man?
I was out at my lake house when that happened. You know what I mean? I was at the lake house, and I felt real fucked up about that. You know what I mean?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Because you know, it wasn't supposed to end that way. You know what I mean? You know, not based on the conversations and different things that we had. So, you know, my mind was racing on how did that really happen.
Right.
Yeah, that didn't even say.
Yeah, everybody's saying it's conspiracy shit. And I think that, like, when you have a voice, man, and Pimp C was voicing a lot of shit that people wouldn't speak on. You know what I mean? And we'll leave it at that. And you know what I mean? You never know. It's a lot of conspiracies, man. A lot of conspiracies. Recipes to Pimp C, man. I tell you this, man. He got out and he was on this shit. He wasn't drinking. We at the bar. Niggas is popping bottles. He got cranberry juice. He on his ding. Game, right? He had cranberry juice every night, right?
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah, he was on his ding. I ain't see him on no lean.
So he wasn't even on no
I didn't see him on no lean. So I don't know how they say it was some lean or some syrup shit, because I ain't see him do it when he got out. Did you see him do it when he got out?
No, I haven't witnessed any of that.
Nah, I ain't never witnessed that, bro. So it's like,
fucking with that ain't nothing you can do in the closet.
Bro was on cranberry juice, man. Period. So I don't know where that came from, but man, God bless, man. Damn, man. Like, Pimp C was so fucking dope, man. Like, so fucking, like, the legends. Like, why they don't take this? I don't want them to take nobody. But why don't they take the suckers, man? Why they always take the real niggas, man? Don't you feel like that sometimes, Jay?
Yeah, a whole lot of time.
Right. The suckers could take an exit and bow out, man. Like, let the real niggas stay, man. We need Pop. We need Pimp. You know what I mean? We need Biggie. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You could take all these motherfucking fruity dressing, blouse dressing niggas with painted nails. You could take them niggas, but take them. Niggas mumble rapping anyway, man.
Go now, shit.
Hey, man, on some real shit, man. So what's next for Jay Prince Boxing? You know what I mean? What's next for for Jazz with the Drake shit, because it's real anticipation on when Drake new albums dropping, that Lover Boy shit, man.
Nah, some shit drops tomorrow, midnight.
Okay, let him give us the news. Like
that's real talk. Drake
he
got a single coming out at midnight tonight. So he definitely got the clip full, and it's gonna be something nice. He gonna deliver real soon.
When the whole album dropping?
Yeah, that's to be announced. You know what I mean? Ain't no solid date. We with this COVID and all this shit taking place, you have to try to time things accordingly, because it's a whole movement behind his album dropping that one gonna want to be compensated with the whole movement that's gonna take place. So once again, timing is everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we in no rush. We gonna that shit.
I heard rumors
at the proper time.
Not to cut you off. I heard rumors y'all supposed to drop that shit on Valentine's Day, man. Was that the initial plan?
Well, that could have been, Drake. You know what I mean? He loved them love days and shit like that.
He said he loved them love days.
The nigga doing Allstate commercials now. Drake doing All-Star commercials.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's a whole. That boy, that Chris Paul out of there. That nigga Drake done gave me. Yo, you got an intern. You need an assistant intern. Real talk, that loyalty shit.
You sound like you on Clubhouse, man. Quit trying to shoot your shot. Niggas on Clubhouse trying to shoot their shot. Man. Cut it out.
That nigga all about every bag. This nigga on Allstate commercials. Nigga, I looked up, I'm like, is that Drake?
All right, so certified lover boys on certified undercover boy right now until further notice.
Yeah. They ain't coming
Until
out.
further notice.
It's a matter of time before you give it to him. It's a matter of time.
It's undercover, because it's undercover. The dates is undercover. But you could be undercover lover boy. That's sexy. You could be undercover tearing shit up. Oh, you ain't never worked in undercovers? Oh, that is the main shit. Anyway, man, this is not
Charlotte, what you think about Charlamagne saying he don't think he gonna be able to go higher than what he already has hit? He think he reached his peak, his pinnacle. What you think about that?
Well, opinions like assholes. Everybody got it.
Right.
So we know how that go. You know what I mean? Me and the homie Charlamagne, we talked about that. That's the way Charlamagne feels. Shit. Hell, I underestimated Drake myself before.
Right,
so,
you said that.
He known to prove one wrong though. So he got a track
every fucking time.
Tom Brady.
That's a little fuel he might have needed.
Fuck that. He murdered Meek Mill. Like Meek Mill was a whole battle rapper. We thought he was gonna get into that nigga said back to back, and then came with another one back. Like, come on, my nigga. Nigga, it ain't your tour. You get paid off your girl tour. Like, come on. Murder. Yo, man, leave that boy alone. That boy is an animal.
Do you you in dealings with Travis Scott any?
No, I don't have nothing to do with that. But
he never came across your radar being out there.
Travis was under Mike Dean.
Mike Dean, right.
Yeah. But back then I had shifted my focus. You know what I mean? When Kanye West came and I gave him my blessing where Mike Dean was concerned, them feds was after me real tough then. So I kind of shifted my focus from even being in the mix out there in Houston and started hanging on the West Coast in Vegas a lot. So that's when I popped up on HBO, you know what I mean, in the living room of the feds, and I was on TV with their families while they was watching. Yeah. You know what I mean? They said one door.
When the movie coming out?
A matter of time. It's a matter of time. I'm actually working on I'm having a conversation about, I got to do this documentary series first, and then it's gonna set up, the movie thing.
Yeah, see, I do it. I'm
Still the captain's being wrote right as we live.
Yeah, that's
so it might be too premature.
All right, man. Welcome home, Harry O, man. That was one of your homeboys back in the day, man. How you guys ever linked up, you know what I mean? Or how you even meet this dude, you know what I mean? And what's your ties now?
Yeah, I met the homie back in the day, you know what I mean? In my hustling days. And, you know, we had a lot of fun, you know, together in that world. But, you know, always knew that to me, the rap game was the new hustling game. It was the new dope game. It was the way to the future. And a lot of people, such as him, they laughed at me when I decided to leave the streets and step into the rap world. Nobody understood, you know what I mean, why I was doing that, because it wasn't popular on the West Coast and down south at the time. Nobody hadn't done anything other than the East Coast. So that's where that begun, and that's where that ended. You know what I mean? But where we at today is not a good place. You know, ain't no spot where that's concerned, because, you know, the homie, while he was gone, done some things and said some things that wasn't true. And I couldn't understand why would one, you know what I mean, say shit like that, but they gave me money to start up Rap A Lot or to do different things where my blood, sweat, and tears and my homies, you know, this was us, you know what I mean? And what happened from that statement is I got investigated, I got audited, you know, a lot of shit came my direction that, you know, I ain't happy about till this day. So that goes deeper than, you know, what I'm even saying right now. But, you know, to make a long story short, you know, I don't feel good about that.
Right, man. Damn. Ouch. Yeah, we'll leave that subject alone, man. Free that dude, man. Be easy, man. Shit, man.
On the light.
And look here, I'm like, anybody get out of the pig pen, you know, I'm like all the way down with that. I'm happy for him, the family, and hope that, you know what I mean, it be the third, fourth quarter be a happy situation for him.
Right.
But you know, that's as far as that go.
Got any stock tips? Any money advice? I'm serious.
Hey, yeah, man, invest in you. You know what I mean?
Bingo.
On a lighter note, before we do get out of here,
sure.
I know you want to bring light to this. Tell us about what inspired you to that program, that foundation you got to bring awareness to safe sex with the kids and getting them tested and stuff like that.
You say safe sex with the kids?
The foundation that's educating the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, definitely, I have. I build what one would call I call it the Prince Complex.
Yeah,
I build in Houston, Texas, man. That, you know, consists of me showing love in so many different aspects. Other than, you know, it's a full court basketball facility that we serve the community, you know, during Christmas, Thanksgiving, storms, the sun, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be, we show love, you know, to our people, you know what I mean, under every situation. Actually, we just, a few days ago, you know, as y'all know, this disaster that took place in Houston was somewhat devastating. And I tapped into some of the homies from Chicago. My brother, Johnny, you know, Johnny Jackson, his name Crusher. He was released on the First Step Act, you know what I mean? And he was able to send me 3 18-wheelers down here, man, from Chicago with water, with milk, with produce, with furniture, you know what I mean? You name it, you know what I mean? Here's a brother that had 5 life sentences, one of Hoover guys, you know what I mean? And he was released on the First Step Act, got a second chance, and look what he's doing with it. And that's why, you know, I'm a real advocate for homies getting a second chance, man, and these racist laws that they have where they, you know, keeping our people under bondage, we have to unite. Matter of fact, that's the name of their movement, Black Men United. You know what I mean? That's a part of the movement he down with. But, you know, for those that's not scared, man, we have to come together and support the homeless that then been forgotten about, because, you know, a lot of people forgot about it. So when they come up with first step acts, you know, like Trump passed, you know what I mean? When I talk about that name, Trump, it's a bittersweet situation. But that's one of the sweet ones that I loved about the movement, you know, is freeing the homeless and giving the homeless a second chance, man. And, you know, we just had a blast with that a few days ago.
I can't wait to get to Texas. Y'all open.
Hey, y'all motherfuckers said, fuck it, we couldn't. We didn't know what to do with the power. We gonna open this motherfucker up. No man.
Open this motherfucker up, man.
Is it true? You get like I'm a little drunk, so fuck it.
Hey, I got a piss right quick. Yeah, y'all kill
Can I get is it a J Prince card? So when I'm out there,
man, don't stop it. Okay,
I can just wiggle.
Hey, when y'all come to the town, y'all can hit me and we gonna mob together.
That's all I see. That's all I want to do.
We all get to it.
We said,
Stop a lot.
We not gonna hold you no more.
We out this motherfucker, man. I gotta piss like a motherfucker, man. J Prince, man. Let them know your social media handles.
Hey, man, I'm at J Prince Respect. Live in the living color.
Yep.
Yeah, Phil, man. Yada, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Come on.
Legendary hour.
Come on, man. We out this motherfucker. It's your boy, man. Let's do a toast, man. Yada. We out. Loyalty,
All
man.
good.
It's your boy with the most Culado smoke, yuck motherfucking mouth with the illest nigga.
Catofonia. Oh, my mama.
It's your cousin Fly, man. I'm drunk as shit and high. We
Yeah,
out.
give them their vitamins right quick. Nah,
Vitamins. Oh, yeah.
vitamins. No, commercial time.
Commercial time,
And
slime.
we're gonna leave you mother of a gang of fuckers.
And here he
With
goes.
the goddamn
The motherfucking vitamin man.
Introducing rapper Kush Kratom, the lead brand tearing up the Kratom extract competition with its high-quality food-grade formula. These Kratom game is popping off and see why for yourself today. It's been medicinally used for hundreds of years in Southeast Asia. Kratom interacts with the dopamine receptors in your brain to help relieve the stress and pain without interrupting your day-to-day activities. Active Kratom users swear by this natural powerhouse to help them thrive through life without having to rely on painkillers or any other stimulants. Rapper Kush Kratom takes pride in offering you top quality Kratom, whether you need it for pain relief or a general mood boost. Rapper Kush Kratom, the only brand that makes you say, yeah, you bet.